Hello everyone, this is your tutor, Mr. Mukolomino. So today guys, we are diving in chemistry. I want to show you on how we can balance chemical equation. We are doing chemical equation. So we are having this equation which is saying sodium hydroxide react with hydrogen sulfates to give us sodium sulfates and H2O, which is water. So in terms of balancing, you always have to make sure that atoms that are in the reactant side are equal to the number of atoms that are to the product side. These are called reactants. These are called reactants. These are reactants. Reactants are things that are reacting. We are also having the products. Products are the outcomes of the reactants. So these are products. So whenever you are balancing up, you always balance up individually. Like for instance, we are having sodium hydroxide here. We always have to balance up individually. You take this element which is sodium, you compare it with the number of sodium which we are having here. That is how we are supposed to do. So here, if we can see, we are having one atom of sodium. We are having one atom of sodium. We compare it to these atoms of sodium that we are having to the product side. So we are having atoms of sodium, we are having two atoms of sodium. So since we are having one atom of sodium and two atoms of sodium, which means sodium, it is not balanced. Sodium, it is not balanced. We always have to make sure that this sodium, which is having the smaller number of to become equivalent to this one which is having a bigger number. So since this one is 1, this one it is 2, we are going to add a 2 here so that this sodium become a 2. Always make sure, don't write a 2 here. That is a beautiful smiling 0. We always have to add a 2 here. Now mind you, so sodium it is 2 now. Sodium here it is a 2. Sodium here it is 2. Sodium here it is a 2. Let us move on to another element. Which means sodium it has a balanced. Sodium it has a balanced. So our next element, it is oxygen here. Oxygen. So oxygen, guys, this oxygen which we are having here, it has been affected by these two we have added here, because these two, it has affected everything on this one reactant. These two, it has affected everything on this reactant. So oxygen, we are having 2 here, plus we are having another oxygen here, which is a 4. So these 2 of oxygen plus this atom of oxygen here, which is a 4, it is going to give us 6. We compare it to the number of oxygen that we are having to the product side. So oxygen here, we are having this oxygen which is 4, plus we are also having another this oxygen. This oxygen, it is 1. Mind you, this 2, it is only affecting hydrogen, it is not affecting oxygen. So oxygen this side, it is a 1, which is going to give us a 5. So oxygen this side, reactant side, it is 6. Product side, it is 5. So we always have to make sure that the number of oxygen becomes equal. So how are we going to do that? We are going to make sure that that oxygen which is having the smaller number become equivalent to that oxygen which is having a bigger number. This oxygen which is having a smaller number should become equivalent to this oxygen which is having a bigger number. So we are going to ask ourselves, where are we going to put a number? Are we going to put a number here or here? But don't forget that if you put a number here, this number, it will affect everything, of which it will also affect sodium, which is already balanced. This sodium, it is already balanced, it is a 2. Sodium, it is a 2. Now when you add the number here, we're going to multiply by this, it will give us a 4. So we're going to disturb sodium, so you don't have to add the number here, because we're just interested in oxygen. So we're supposed to add a number here. Yes, because even if we disturb hydrogen, we haven't balanced hydrogen. So Sodium here, oxygen here, it is 4 plus oxygen here. These two, it has affected everything. So oxygen here, it is 2. It has changed now, it is 2. Of which 2 plus 4, it will give us a 6. So oxygen here, 2 plus this 4, it is a 6. Oxygen here, 4 plus this 2, it is a 6. This 2 has affected the hydrogen, it has also affected the oxygen. So oxygen now, it is balanced. We are having 6 atoms of oxygen in the product side, also 6 atoms of oxygen to the reactant side. Now let us move on to another element. Since we have balanced sodium, which is 2, sodium here 2, oxygen, which is a 6, oxygen here, which is a 6. Now let us move on to another element, which is what? Hydrogen. Hydrogen. These two, it has affected everything here. These two, it has affected everything. So hydrogen, it is having a 2 here, plus this hydrogen. So this 2 of hydrogen plus this 2 of hydrogen, it will give us a 4. Now let us check the number of hydrogen that we are having to the product side. So hydrogen here, it is a 4. You always have to multiply this multiplied by this, it is a 4. So hydrogen, it is 4. Hydrogen this side, it is 4. So hydrogen, it has balanced. Now let us move on to another element. Other elements, so sodium, it has balanced, oxygen, it is balanced, hydrogen, it is balanced. Now let us move on to, this is hydrogen, it is balanced. Let us move on to sulfur. We are having 1 atom of sulfur. 1 atom of sulfur. 1 atom of sulfur. This sulfur, we are also having 1 atom of sulfur. So which means our equation, it is now balanced. This is how we are supposed to balance up an equation. Sodium 2, oxygen 2 plus this oxygen here, which is a 4, to give us 6. We compare it to this oxygen, oxygen 4 plus this oxygen, which has been affected by these 2. So oxygen is a 2 plus this 4, it is a 6. Hydrogen here, it is 2, because this 2, it has affected everything here. So hydrogen is a 2 plus this hydrogen, it will give us a 4. This hydrogen, 2 multiplied by this 2, it is a 4. Sulfur, we are having 1 atom of sulfur here. Here we are having 1 atom of sulfur. So this is how we are supposed to balance up this equation. This is how we are supposed to balance up this equation. Let us also deal with this one. So whenever we are balancing up, I said we always have to compare the reactant sides to the product sides. These are called products, these are reactants. And we always have to balance up individually. Individually, which means per element. Per elements. So copper here, we are having 1 atom of copper. We compare it to this copper, which is in the product side. So we're having 1 atom of copper. So copper, it is balanced. Copper, it is balanced. Let us move on to another element. We are having oxygen. Oxygen, which is 1 plus. We're also having this oxygen, which is a 3. So it will give us a 4. So we also let us compare it to the number of oxygen that we are having to the product side. So oxygen here, it is inside the bracket, and there is a number outside the bracket. This number outside the bracket, it has affected everything in the bracket. This number outside the bracket, it has affected everything in the bracket, of which we are supposed to multiply these 2 multiplied by this 4, and it will give us a 6 plus this oxygen here, which is a 1, it will give us a 7. Yes, so we are having 7 atoms of oxygen to the product side. Let us compare it to this number of oxygen, which is a 4. So now let us try to balance up this one. So where are we going to put a number? Here or here? Mind you, if we decide to put a number here, we are going to affect copper, which is already balanced. So which means we're going to add a number here, because we haven't balanced hydrogen yet, we haven't balanced nitrogen yet. So we're going to add a 2 here. So mind you, this 2 has affected everything. So this 2 multiplied by this 3 of oxygen, 2 multiplied by this 3 of oxygen, it is a 6. So here we are having 6 of oxygen plus this one, and it will give us a 7. So which means oxygen, it has balance. 1 atom of oxygen plus this 6 of oxygen, we always have to multiply 2 multiplied by this 3, it will give us a 6. Now 1 plus 6, it is a 7. This one, 3 multiplied by this 2, it is a 6, plus this one, it is a 7. Let us move on to another element. So hydrogen, we are having 2 atoms of hydrogen, 2 atoms of hydrogen, because these 2 does affected everything. So 2 atoms of hydrogen, let us compare it to the number of hydrogen that we are having this side. So hydrogen, it is 2. Hydrogen here, it is 2. So which means hydrogen, it is balanced. Let us move on to another element. So we are having nitrogen. Mind you, these 2, it has affected everything here. So which means this nitrogen, it is 2. We are having 2 atoms of nitrogen in the reactant side. Let us compare it to the number of nitrogen which is in the product side. So nitrogen, it is here. I said these 2, it has affected everything in the brackets. So which means we are having 2 atoms of nitrogen, which means nitrogen, it is balanced. Let us move on to another element. Other elements, so there's not any remaining elements. So this is how we are supposed to balance up this equation. Copper 1, oxygen, which is 1 here, plus this 6, it is 7. Oxygen 6, 3 multiplied by this 2, it is a 6, plus this one, it is plus a 1, it is a 7. Hydrogen 2 here, it is balanced. Nitrogen 2 here. So this is how we are supposed to balance up this equation. So thank you for viewing, and don't forget to like and comment in the comment section the topics and questions that you'd like me to solve in our next lesson.